Hello, fellow hunters. It's time. We finally got a new update from Capcom that we get to cover. When I woke up this morning to pour my morning coffee and scroll the YouTubes for a moment, I saw this and suddenly I no longer needed my coffee. I was buzzing. This will be a bit of a shorter video than my usual fare, but I wanted to touch on a few points that I thought were relevant. The timing was a bit amusing though. I've never had to structure my releases around info drops before, and I spent all of last evening working on my next script. So this morning, I had to pivot real quick. I pivoted so hard I nearly snapped my ankles, but rest assured, that video will be packed full of details and is progressing smoothly. I just needed to focus my attention on this one first. Ryozo Sugimoto has come forward on the official Monster Hunter YouTube with an announcement. Now, as he opens up, he hones in on the new year, likely acknowledging that we're hungry for more details. While the video takes shape more as a thank you, there's a couple of cool things to mention here. He reiterates a few things that we already know, such as the hype around the trailer, a 2025 release, and the update we should anticipate in summer of 2024. More on that, though, in a moment. He goes on to mention the Hunter's Choice poll that I called attention to in a prior video, giving the community an opportunity to vote for their favorite out of a whopping 229 monsters. He then follows up with when we'll know the results on that poll, and sure enough, falling in line with the 20th anniversary in March, we'll be seeing the results of that poll also in March. To sweeten the deal, there will be a special illustration in commemoration of the top 3 most loved monsters, and I'm assuming this might take shape in a wallpaper similar to the ones that the fans would get for participating in the Capcom user survey. In the same video, I mentioned the 20th anniversary website, where there's a number of things that we could do to tide us over until more information releases. This is also where Capcom will be delivering a number of their updates, so I'll be putting a link to the website in the description below. As Ryozo goes on, he talks about World, Rise, and Now. 2023 has turned out to be quite the momentous year for Capcom, and more specifically Monster Hunter fans. For them to highlight this in the update tells me that this is truly an accomplishment they're proud of, achieving exactly what they set out to do. When I created my video about whether or not you should play Monster Hunter World in 2024, I went in depth, discussing the design and philosophy behind World's development and how their passion and innovation earmarked their steps to catapulting Monster Hunter World to critical acclaim and commercial success. As of last year, he highlights that World has sold a total of 23 million copies, and Rise has sold 13 million. Okay, quick quiz for you. In the video that I just mentioned, do you remember how many units I mentioned Capcom reliably expected from a Monster Hunter release prior to World? I want to see the comments, okay? So, first person to comment the right answer will have their comment featured in the next video. Needless to say, Monster Hunter has become a global sensation in the gaming industry. In fact, Monster Hunter World and its Iceborne expansion have been climbing the charts of Steam's top sellers, trumping even that of God of War, Persona 5 Royal, and The Binding of Isaac Rebirth. What I didn't expect was for World to even outsell the likes of Elden Ring, Grand Theft Auto 5, and Team Fortress 2, which are currently sat in 22nd, 27th, and 40th places, respectively. Additionally, Niantic AR game Monster Hunter Now has already surpassed 10 million downloads, only released just this past September. 10 million downloads in just over 3 months is honestly incredible. Job well done, Capcom. He wraps up his address with some thank yous, expressing his gratitude to the community for supporting their creative works, and points to updates in 2024. Updates. Multiple. I think you can see where I'm going with this. Let's take the video back for a moment, where Ryozo mentions summer 2024.
次の情報は今年の夏頃を予定しておりますので、それまで少々お待ちください。
次の情報は今年の夏頃予定. There's that word again, goro. I'd called attention to this in a prior video, and while my Japanese isn't exactly fluent, it is functional, and I've been keeping up on my studies over the years since high school. When speaking in time frames, there's 2 different words used, chodo, meaning exactly, or sharp. You could say gozen kuji han chodo, which would translate to 9:30 a.m. sharp. The opposite of that would be goro, meaning outside or around the time of. So if we replaced chodo with goro, the sentence would mean around 9:30 a.m. There's a different nuance to the meaning of the 2 words, and what I find puzzling is that both the interpreter at the Game Awards as well as the translation in this video omit the word around entirely, suggesting that it will be at summertime. Yet that's not the terminology Ryozo has used. Not once but twice he's used the word goro now. Sure, it could be a catch-all term not meant to be taken quite so literally, but with how many times I've highlighted Capcom's intentional use of wording, design choices, aesthetic representation, and deeper meanings, I'm quite confident Ryozo means just that. When he says, 次の情報は今年の夏頃を予定, He's saying the next information will be available around summer this year. If he meant the dead of summer, he would have used the word chodo, or maybe even the word naka. So I'd initially thought this meant we'd see something around Tokyo Game Show in September, sitting just outside summer 2024. Your comments, however, suggested the Capcom Showcase or Summer Game Fest, which happened in June. With Ryozo coming forward and reiterating the Goro to suggest around summer, I'm thinking he's not talking literally around summer. But I actually also don't think he means the dead of summer either, suggesting June. No, my friends, I think he's suggesting something better, something more. I actually think he means all of it. The dead of summer, before summer, after summer. You see, right now there's a lot of momentum for Monster Hunter, with Wild's release riding on the tailcoats of Monster Hunter's 20th anniversary. Capcom has been more engaged, more in tune, more attentive to their audience, and spending a lot of time feeding hungry fans with ways to invest in the Monster Hunter franchise. So when Ryozo uses Goro, I think the around he mentions is a nod to all the ways Capcom intends to further engage the audience in 2024. They really are pulling out all the stops, and if they keep whetting the voracious appetites of the Monster Hunter community throughout the year, the 2025 release of Wilds will land at the height of the Monster Hunter craze, promising commercial success and high sales. Capcom is looking to not just take advantage of all the hype around Wilds, they're actually going the extra mile to add fuel to that fire and to take care of us as a community with everything they can throw at us. 2024, for what initially seemed like it might be a throwaway year for Monster Hunter fans, is turning out to be quite exciting. In fact, MSI just dropped an announcement about their collaboration with Capcom, creating Monster Hunter-themed PC hardware for fans to step up their appreciation of the franchise and to show off Monster Hunter's aesthetic design. There will be more information on these limited edition components at CES 2024, starting Tuesday of next week. I'm confident there will be more to come, and more announcements throughout the year. We're going to have a lot to sink our teeth into, tiding us over until the next teaser, the next announcement, and ultimately the game's release. What an exciting time for Monster Hunter fans, and I cannot wait to see what Capcom has in store for us. And speaking of, I have something in store for y'all. I spent the majority of the last week going through all the approvals and standing up YouTube partnership. Members now have access to some pretty cool perks, including exclusive emoji and member badges too. If you've enjoyed my content and want to support the channel further, please check it out. If you want your name in lights, I'll also be including a segment in each of my videos going forward where you'll get to see your username displayed, just as a small thank you for becoming a member of the channel. But what about you? What do you think Capcom has in store for us this year? Will we get multiple updates throughout? Are you like me, eagerly awaiting for every bit of breadcrumb we get along the way? And when do you think we'll finally be able to pre-order Wilds? Will it be late in the year, or will pre-orders open earlier than that? I'm Jade, and I'll be covering Monster Hunter Wilds throughout the year. If you've enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. Getting to engage the Monster Hunter community in the comments has been an absolute treat for me, and I've gotten to brush elbows with so many cool people like you. Until the next video, may the Sapphire Star guide your way.